Moving to Spain with your family is not just a change of lifestyle, of a scenario. It's a full-time job. It's a full-scale logistic mission because it's important to plan school, visas, where are you planning to live, how the timeline of each different process works. So it's something that I guess indeed you need to have guidance and be a very good planner. And sometimes we have families that they are moving with your children, and the most frequent question is, are gonna be my kids okay? Are they gonna adjust to the Spanish lifestyle, to the language, to even the school? So today we're gonna be breaking down the most important steps that you need to follow as a family who wants to relocate in Spain. The first rule is about timeline. Please stop checking in Idealista or rental portal your forever house. The most important is to plan ahead the visa and also the school. So we usually recommend, if you are 12 months in advance, to come to Spain and do a scouting trip, because it's going to be very, very good to have this vibe trip, to know exactly in which neighborhood do you envision yourself with your children, in which type of a school, if it's going to be public, private, or concertado, which is a hybrid. But basically, it's important to plan ahead, but in the most important details. So let's plan between 8 to 9 months in advance. And the first step is gonna be about checking the documents to verify that you have all of them. For example, all the visa documents, which is gonna be criminal reports, that you have a clean criminal records, the birth certificate of your children, the marriage certificate. All these documents must be apostille. So if you need to be well organized and know in which folder each document is. As well, 4 months before your actual move, you need to have all the documents ready. I'm gonna say that yes, you need to have the perfect application, because some visas takes even 3 months to get approved. So this is very important. And in the meantime, I'm gonna suggest you, like 2 months ahead, before actually landing in Spain, to start checking schools, to do the enrollment of your kids. In Spain, it's mandatory to enroll your kids in the school, which means that in order to renew your visa, in most of the cases, they are gonna be asking for a proof of your kids being enrolled the last few years. So I'm gonna say that homeschooling in Spain is not even allowed. So take that into consideration, because even some consulates, they are asking for a proof of the kid being enrolled in the first place, even at the moment of the application. Not all the consulates are that strict as those ones, but it's important to have a map about what is going to happen next. And we cannot forget, before starting, you need to decide which city is going to be, because the city is going to make you decide the school and also, well, the neighborhood and everything. The second one is about to choose what type of visa is the most important for you. We have been explaining this in previous videos about the non-lucrative visa. It's perfect if you are taking a sabbatical or you are retiring, actually, because you have good passive income of savings, but actually you don't picture yourself working in Spain or from Spain. Very important. This application is going to happen always at the consulate where you live in your jurisdiction. And the application process can take 3 months gathering the documents and another 3 months to get the visa approved. The Digital Nomad Visa. So this visa allows you to work remotely from Spain if you have a business, or you work as a freelancer, or even if you are an employee for a non-Spanish entity. This application can be done directly in Spain, coming as a tourist and submit application here. That takes only 20 business days to get sorted, or doing it at the consulate. In this case, we need to plan as well 6 months ahead to gather all the documents and later submission and approval. Which visa is the best for you? Let's check it out. Every family has different circumstances, and perhaps you have in mind that the digital nomad is the best for you, but you find out that the non-lucrative visa is the one. So we're going to be here to support you and advise you the best. The next one is about the schooling and renting. I know that having a good house where you feel that it's your home is very important, mostly when you have kids and you need to have separate bathrooms, etc. It is, but in Spain, we need to take into account that at the concertados schools and also to public ones is about the proximity. So where you are empadronado, which is registered you at the city hall, in that area of proximity is where the schools are gonna be. So keep in mind that you need to choose well the school and also the housing. Try to not just find the house in a neighborhood that is not family oriented, because perhaps your kid needs to go to a far away school and you need to take the car, or the kid need to take the bus, or cannot even walk. So this is something that you need to have into consideration in order to avoid this big mistake. And now you're wondering the difference between the schools in Spain. Well, we are going to be discussing about the public school in the first place, which is 100% funded by the government, which means that it's for free, because of course people in Spain, we pay our taxes for that. The education is public, anyone is welcome to this type of education. Concertados school are half funded by the Spanish government and half by the family, so sometimes you need to pay a monthly fee that it varies, can be 50 euros a month or even can be 300 euros a month. And the education sometimes is Catholic, sometimes they are bilingual schools, so it's different education. And again, the kids are assigned according to proximity. Also, in some regions like Valencia or Catalonia, they learn a second language, and several subjects are given in those languages. And the private schools that they are welcoming you, of course, if you apply and you pay a monthly or annual fee, and the kids are going to have a different curriculum. So sometimes they are British or American schools, so the approach in that education is different. They teach the kids in a different language, not just Spanish, but English, or it can be French, or it can be German, etc. Spanish education is very good. Personally, I studied always in a public school in a small town in the south of Spain. I have not issues. Of course, I didn't learn any English, I'm gonna say, but it was the 90s, so it's completely different. And yes, it's more about the approach and the vibe. So I know that some of you wants to move to big cities with a bigger offer, and some of you, they want to move to mid-sized cities, which the offer is different. So it's good to check that in advance before choosing the city itself. And some important note, for the non-lucrative visa, it's not mandatory to enroll your kids in a public or in a private school. But something that we have seen recently is some consulates, mostly in the US, they are asking for families who have kids above 6 years old in which private school they are going to be enrolled. Something important, you cannot enroll your kid in a public or concertado school unless that you're already living in Spain. So the only option for those consulates that they are becoming a little bit more stricter is to enroll your kid in a private school. So this is happening recently. So keep in mind that potentially you need to enroll your kid in a private school when you apply for the non-lucrative visa and you're coming from the US. So of course, we are going to advise you if this is happening in the consulate, for example, of California, like San Francisco, Los Angeles, or Miami. We are going to inform you well, because this criteria is changing and we are just seeing what is happening, because the law doesn't mention anything. After 1 year living in Spain, you're going to renew for the visa. And the Spanish government is going to be asking you for the enrollment from the previous year. They want to see that the kids actually went to school and they are not homeschooling. I would like to put emphasis on this because it's very important in order to get your kids approved and therefore the family unit. Now the next one is about the cost of living. You are making some numbers about rental, about the housing, the groceries, how this is gonna look. So for living in big cities like is Madrid or is Barcelona, you need to take into consideration that you're gonna spend between 4,000 and 5,000 euros a month. Housing is gonna be between 1,000 to 2,500 euros. Perhaps you want to live in a more high-end apartment, or you want to live in a city that is way cheaper in cost of living. So these are just numbers that we're giving you that are generic ones, that is, you can have an idea. Every family is a different situation and a different budget. Groceries can be between 600 to 800 euros per month, including fresh vegetables, fruit, everything. Because I'm going to say that the Mediterranean diet exists and is very good. As well, utilities and internet can be between 150 and 200 euros. Health insurance, which is mandatory. This is something that you are going to pay out front. So, but if you are a digital nomad and you want to have a private health insurance because you are paying your social security, but you want something else, you need to consider 200 euros for a family unit. I'm going to say that moving to Spain brings you safety, high education, and also an amazing lifestyle. The key here is not about having everything perfect, because as we know, life changes within a second and we need to bring more about preparation. We need to be well prepared. And also we need to have plan Bs. Sometimes things don't go in the way that we plan for all of us, but if you are well prepared, you're in contact with the good professionals that they are going to give you advice, this is going to be amazing. And this is going to be a game changer because you can rely on them to make your move easier. So in that case, if you want to go deeper, so I'm going to suggest you to download our ebook that we have prepared about how to move to Spain when you are a family. You can read about all the next steps, tips, and important and useful information about how to move here in Spain with your beautiful family. If you want advice about visas, feel free to contact us and we're going to have a free consultation with you to explain you how the visa process works and also the timeline for all of that. And we work with very trusted partners. They can give you an idea about how is the housing markets, about renting, schooling, as well about private healthcare, how that's covered, and how is moving with your family with a pet. Because I know some of you have children and also you have your lovely pets and dogs and cats that you want to move with them. So thank you so much for accompanying me today in this video. I hope that it's useful, you like it, and don't forget that if you want to start your Spanish journey, just contact us and we're going to be more than happy and ready to help you. Besos desde España. Nos vemos pronto. Adiós.